Well, good morning, everybody. It's so good to be with you again. Truly look forward to these opportunities that we have to share with each other. And what's been on my mind this week that I'd like to chat with you a little bit about is support. And I think we all came to uh, be together in this situation because not only do we sometimes need a helping hand, but we also are dedicated to helping and supporting others throughout our lives. And that's such an important goal to have and an objective to try to achieve each and every day. One of the things that sort of grounds me in this objective is a quote from Maya Angelou. She just is so eloquent in some of her statements. And this one that I was reflecting on is we all live with the objective of being happy. Our lives are all different and yet the same. And I think that's so true. I think everybody wants a happy life. Whatever that is defined by each of us, we still have that as our objective to live a happy life. And sometimes we need a little help from others, our friends, our families, our coworkers, uh, maybe even professionals from time to time to guide us and help us get through the rough spots that are just a part of life. Uh, and by building a mutual support social group, we can free each other from feelings of isolation. We can nourish spirits and aspirations, as well as unlock doors to living our best lives. Mutual support is not just a warm sentiment or a nicety. Being supportive requires being incredibly thoughtful and proactive. It is helping ourselves and others to truly thrive. By extending hands and lifting hearts, all of us feel more valued. We feel heard and we feel cared for. Uh, I am reminded at the moment of a book that was later made into a highly acclaimed movie called The Help. Uh, and there was a character in there who was called Abilene. Uh, and Abilene was the maid for this family. And they had a little girl in the family that was, how do I put it? Not meeting the expectations of her parents, particularly her mother. And this was really damaging the self esteem of this young girl. And it just, Ebeline was such a caring person in the movie and uh, truly loved the little girl and wanted to help her so much to reach her full potential and believe in herself. And every day, Abilene would take a moment to really focus on the little girl and repeat these few words to her before she left for the day. And the words were, "You is kind, you is smart, you is important." And that little girl remembered those words into her adulthood, and she grew into her full potential and believed in herself because Abilene cared for her and let her know and reached out to help her. And that's what all of us who want to extend ourselves to others and give support need to keep in mind is the power of our words and actions ex as experienced by the person with whom we share them. So here are some tips from experiences I have had that I find helpful when I'm trying to be supportive. Uh, you know, we don't come to these groups just because we are seeking support, but we also come to these groups to share our support with others. Uh, we can offer meaningful mutual social support to our peers. Small gestures in our everyday interactions can have outsized impact. So keep in mind these 10 tips as you make your supportive journey through your life. Uh, the first thing, the first tip I want to share with you is to do not judge. You don't ever know everything about anyone else's life, and you have no right to sit in judgment of anyone else because you are not in their shoes. As the Indian saying goes, first walk a mile in my shoes. And I think that's true. You have to let go of any type of judgment if you're ever going to be supportive, uh, because you need to focus on hearing what the other person has to say. Uh, Tip number 2 is to be respectful and polite always. Use your words and actions to treat all with dignity, respect, and caring concern. Don't make unkind remarks about others or tell them what to do. Be inclusive, fair-minded, and open-minded. Tip number 3 is to show empathy and kindness. Take time to listen and understand your peer's point of view. Validate emotion, your peer's feelings about setbacks or stresses are bringing up. Don't negate them. They have a right to their feelings. Perform small acts of kindness whenever the opportunity arises, when you're trying to be of help to somebody else. Tip number 4, offer sincere praise and gratitude. Recognize and praise accomplishments, be they big or small. Note them. Thank others for their help. Everyone likes to know they are appreciated and valued. Uh, you could even write thank you notes or thank you post showing your appreciation, and doing it as often as you can helps build self-esteem. Uh, Tip number 5, provide task-related help. Offer to coach or help someone learn a skill that you may have and even excel at. Offer tips from your experience to work smarter, not harder. Tip number 6, encourage vulnerability and openness. Share your own experiences coping with similar challenges as you are comfortable doing. And do not force anyone to share something they are not ready yet to be open about. Provide opportunities to build trust and mutual understanding, to find common ground. Be available to listen by in uh, conversations where you're just venting. They can pop up totally impromptu and should be taken advantage of in the moment of readiness. Uh, Tip number 7, communicate with care. Respond supportively with feedback. Remember that this is not about you. This is about supporting someone else. Don't be a one-up person that when they share something with you, you try to beat it by saying, oh, well, you think that's bad. You should listen to what happened to me or what I have to deal with. That's not being as supportive as you possibly could be. Your role often is to be an attentive, understanding listener who remains silent most of the time, but asks pertinent questions. Uh, Clarify your tone and avoid misunderstandings when you especially give a written response like a texting or an email. The written word does not include body language, tone of voice, and can be easily misinterpreted. Tip number 8, check in on your peers' well-being. Ask them how they are coping with what they have shared. Are there stresses or their heavy demands on their time from the workload that they carry? Uh, Provide reassurance to the peer who may really be doubting themselves and saying, this is too much. I'm overwhelmed. I can't do it. Uh, I'm drowning here. Help me. Throw me a lifesaver. Uh, Discuss any mental health challenges openly so that they don't feel that they've been the only one that has had these doubts or feelings. Uh, Life can be sometimes too much to carry, uh, and it takes its toll. Being a sounding board is such an important tool to bring to any supportive discussion. Support life balance and taking time for yourself. That definitely needs to be encouraged whenever possible. Uh, if you remember the last statement uh, from the quote in the help, you is important. They are important not only to themselves, but often to their family and others in their life, which puts even more demands on them. Support Tip number 9, tend to your own health and wellness. Model the self-care you are encouraging them to engage in by taking time for yourself. Uh, you should also set boundaries with others so that you don't experience burnout or become overwhelmed by trying to shoulder other people's concern. Be aware of and fight whatever stigma and shaming that you see going on. Don't allow people to put someone down uh, just because. Maybe, for a lot of us, it could be something like weight stigma or fat shaming, but it could easily be something like a speech impediment that generates the same response. Physical challenges, mobility issues, even disfigurements. People can be cruel and so judgmental and so unforgiving. And you certainly don't want to be in that category. So be aware and fight to show that you are there for the person you are trying to help. And tip number 10 is always keep your radar up and be ready to reach out. Be the first to welcome and engage a new person. Reach out uh, to someone in the group who seems to be withdrawing. Maybe they've hit a rough spot and they feel like they don't want to bother anybody with what they're going through. But that's the very time where your radar should go up and reach out to them. Uh, and encourage the person, if needed, to seek expert advice when it's appropriate. Sometimes the experts need to weigh in on some of the challenges that we face on an everyday basis. And we should never feel ashamed or weak because we reach out for such help. Uh, as a supporter, listening is probably the primary skill coupled with not being judgmental. That will make you a more receptive, more aware, and more understanding supporter. Um, don't allow unkind jokes to enter in because I have found that unkind humor actually increases the likelihood that we will devalue ourselves when we make fun of ourselves in such a detrimental fashion. So don't be the author of such actions. Don't sit in judgment. Always be kind. Always listen fully. Don't interrupt until that person has expressed what they need, and don't try to best them in bad experiences. Being a supportive individual is one of the most generous gifts you can give to another person, and I value you so highly for your willingness to reach out in such a fashion and support. Thanks so much for all you do for me and each other every single day. You is kind. You is smart. You is important. And I so highly value you. Have a great day. Bye for now.